Happy tidings for Rishi Sunak. UK annual inflation slides to 13-month low. Britain's annual inflation rate fell sharply to a 13-month low of 8.7% in April, with energy prices much weaker than a year earlier, official data revealed Wednesday. The rate of price increases slowed from 10.1% in March, bringing inflation under 10% for the first time since August last year, the Office for National Statistics said in a statement.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and click our bell icon for new videos.
The Office for National Statistics said in a statement. At 8.7%, it was the lowest level since March last year, when the rate stood at 7%. However, prices in general remain substantially higher than they were this time last year, with annual food price inflation near historic highs, noted ONS chief economist Grant Fitzner. Despite the sharp drop, April's rate was above the Bank of England's, BoE, prediction for inflation of 8.4% last month. Britain's annual inflation rate in April was also the highest among countries in the group of 7 rich economies, featuring also Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and the United States. The BoE's target rate of 2% remains very far off, while the UK government has said it.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and click our bell icon for new videos.
The BoE's target rate of 2% remains very far off, while the UK government has said it sees inflation dropping to about 5% by year-end. Last month, the rate of inflation fell notably as the large energy price rises seen last year were not repeated, but was offset partially by increases in the cost of second-hand cars and cigarettes, Fitzner added. The data comes one day after the International Monetary Fund delivered a major U-turn on its forecast for the UK economy, saying it expected growth this year just 1 month after predicting a contraction. Britain's economy is expected to expand 0.4% in 2023, the IMF said in its latest outlook document, which cited weaker energy prices. The IMF ripped up its previous forecast in April for a 0.3% contraction. The IMF said yesterday, "We've acted decisively to tackle inflation, but although it is positive that it is now in single digits, food prices are still rising too fast," Finance Minister Jeremy Hunt said following Wednesday's data. Now in single digits, food prices are still rising too fast, Finance Minister Jeremy Hunt said following Wednesday's data.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and click our bell icon for new videos.
Narendra Modi's rock star welcome to Sydney is part concert, part political rally, and all about soft power. It was a rock star welcome that would have made any of the world's biggest stars blush. But not Narendra Modi. Entering a heaving Kudos Bank Arena in Sydney's West on Tuesday night, he was greeted by a roaring crowd who cheered and clapped throughout his speech.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and click our bell icon for new videos.
Crowd who cheered and clapped throughout his speech. The Indian leader, who has been Prime Minister since 2014 and is vying for a third term at next year's elections, spoke for nearly an hour, on both Australian-Indian relations as well as Indian economic and cultural successes. There are 3 Cs that defined our relationship with Australia: the Commonwealth, cricket, and curry. But now it is 3 Ds, democracy, diaspora, dusty friendship, he started. Now there are also 3 Es that define the relationship: energy, economy, and education. Modi went on to list popular eateries in Harris Park, a central suburb for the Indian diaspora in Sydney, much to the delight of the crowd. "I want you all to take my friend Australian PM Albanese to these places," he said. Mutual trust and mutual respect have not developed only.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and click our bell icon for new videos.
Australian PM Albanese to these places. He said, mutual trust and mutual respect have not developed only due to the diplomatic relations of India-Australia. The real reason, the real power is, all of you Indians who live in Australia. The arena event felt closer to a concert than a public appearance by two world leaders, as attendees held up flags and signs, and hung on Modi's every word. Organized by the Indian-Australian Diaspora Foundation, the event ran for hours before the leaders arrived and featured dances and singing by local and international groups. At one point, a countdown was featured on the massive screens above the center stage, with every update cheered by the crowd. "Man, this is awesome," said Bhumika Sampathi, one of the volunteers at the event. "We are very proud of our country, we each hold on to that pride and want to be a part of it. We want to participate, and that's why we're here." The event resembled a political rally, with Modi regularly inviting the audience to cheer for India and its economic or cultural achievements, such as the size of the country's workforce, the number of smartphones, the growth of fintech startups and the uptake of COVID vaccines. And while Modi covered a lot of ground, he did not mention the suppression of free media in India, with the Committee to Protect Journalists reporting 32 journalists and media workers killed since 2014. Modi's Bharatiya Janata Party government is also accused of using repressive and intimidatory tactics against political opponents and civil society organizations, and of unlawfully discriminating against Muslims. None of these issues were addressed by the Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, or the New South Wales Premier, Chris Minns, who opened for Modi. His visit comes as the diaspora is exploding, with the Australian Bureau of Statistics forecasting the community will reach 1.07 million by 2035. Rajni Anand Luthra, from the local media platform Indian Link, said the repetition of lines about Indian success aimed to engage the local diaspora's sense of identity and patriotism. "Indian soft power is so strong at the moment that something like this gives the community confidence and a big sense of identity, and you can see it in the way the community is changing," Luthra said, adding, "We will play Bollywood music from our cars and bring our food into the office, the community is not shy about itself anymore." And to attend an event with Albanese instills confidence in that identity. Albanese, who announced the opening of the new Centre for Australia-India Relations in Parramatta, said he had never seen a reception like this. "The last time I saw someone on the stage was Bruce Springsteen and he did not get the welcome that Prime Minister Modi has got," he said. "Prime Minister Modi is the boss." He said the centre would help foster stronger ties. "We want to see more connections, more Australian and Indian students living and studying in each other's countries and bringing those experiences home." "The last time I saw someone on the stage was Bruce Springsteen and he did not get the welcome that Prime Minister Modi has got," he said. Prime Minister Modi is the boss. He said the centre would help foster stronger ties. "We want to see more connections, more Australian and Indian students living and studying in each other's countries and bringing those experiences home."
Subscribe our YouTube channel and click our bell icon for new videos.
No need for public inquiry into foreign interference in polls, Canada Special Rapporteur. The Special Rapporteur appointed by the government of Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau to investigate Chinese interference in the 2019 and 2021 elections, has stated that while foreign governments were attempting to influence voters and candidates, there was no need for a public inquiry into the phenomenon.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and click our bell icon for new videos.
There was no need for a public inquiry into the phenomenon. The independent Special Rapporteur, former Canadian Governor-General David Johnston, released his report on Tuesday, amid criticism from the opposition of it being an exercise in whitewashing. "In my view, a person leading a public inquiry would be unlikely to learn more about who knew what, when, and what was done with it, than has been made available to me. Duplicating this effort would not be productive and would lead to delay in addressing the issues," Johnston noted in the report. The Special Rapporteur was appointed on March 6 after a series of reports in the outlets Globe and Mail and Global News that Beijing may have tried to influence the elections in Canada. A series of exposes had increased pressure on the Trudeau government. On February 17, The Globe and Mail noted, China employed a sophisticated strategy to disrupt Canada's democracy in the 2021 federal election campaign as Chinese diplomats and their proxies backed the re-election of Justin Trudeau's Liberals, but only to another minority government, and worked to defeat conservative.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and click our bell icon for new videos.
Diplomats and their proxies backed the re-election of Justin Trudeau's Liberals, but only to another minority government, and worked to defeat conservative politicians considered to be unfriendly to Beijing. That report was based on Canadian Security Intelligence Service, CSIS, documents. Then Global News cited a December 20, 2021 report from CSIS that said the Liberal Party of Canada is becoming the only party that the People's Republic of China can support. Johnston said that a public process was required, but one focused on strengthening Canada's capacity to detect, deter, and counter foreign interference in our elections and the threat such interference represents to our democracy. He will submit a final report in October as the term of his mandate expires at that time. Trudeau welcomed the report, as he said, in a statement, "We will take the necessary steps to implement his recommendations, and as a government, we will continue to take action to strengthen and protect our democracy." In response to the report, Pierre Poilievre, who heads the principal opposition Conservative Party, tweeted, "Beijing interfered in 2 elections to help Justin Trudeau win. Today, he's covering it up with help from a family friend and Trudeau Foundation member. Conservatives will have none of it. We're calling for a full public inquiry now." The Bloc Québécois also reiterated its demand for an independent and public inquiry. Johnston's appointment was criticized on these grounds at the outset, but he said that he had not interacted with Trudeau since the latter was elected an MP in 2008. Independent and public inquiry. Johnston's appointment was criticized on these grounds at the outset, but he said that he had not interacted with Trudeau since the latter was elected an MP in 2008.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and click our bell icon for new videos.
Patnaik's BJD ignores Opposition's boycott parliament launch call, to attend event. Distancing itself from the 19 opposition parties' decision to skip the inauguration of the new parliament building, Odisha Chief Minister Navin Patnaik's Biju Janata Dal, BJD, on Wednesday said it will be part of this momentous occasion. The BJD said in a statement that constitutional institutions like the Parliament and the President of India should be above any issue which may affect their sanctity and honour, and stressed that issues raised by the opposition parties can always be debated later in the August House.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and click our bell icon for new videos.
Opposition parties can always be debated later in the August House. The President of India is the head of the Indian state. The Parliament represents the 1.4 billion people of India. Both the institutions are symbols of Indian democracy and draw their authority from the Constitution of India, the statement read. Their authority and stature should always be safeguarded. BJD believes that these constitutional institutions should be above any issue which may affect their sanctity and honor. Such issues can always be debated later in the August House. Hence the BJD shall be a part of this momentous occasion, it added. This is not the first time that Navin Patnaik's BJD has taken a different position from opposition parties on contentious issues, including the abrogation of Article 370. Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Y.S. Jaganmohan Reddy's YSRCP has also decided to take part in the inauguration event scheduled for May 28. Reddy on Wednesday urged the opposition parties to set aside all political differences and attend the event, saying,
Subscribe our YouTube channel and click our bell icon for new videos.
Scheduled for May 28. Reddy on Wednesday urged the opposition parties to set aside all political differences and attend the event, saying boycotting such an auspicious event is not in the true spirit of democracy. In the true spirit of democracy, my party will attend this historic event, he wrote on Twitter. Telugu Desam Party, TDP, and Shromani Akali Dal, SAD, have also confirmed their participation in the inauguration ceremony of the new parliament building. Apart from the BJP's allies, Bahujan Samaj Party, BSP, and Lok Jan Shakti Party, LJP Ram Vilas, are also likely to attend the event. As many as 19 opposition parties, including the Congress, Left, TMC, SP and AAP, announced their decision to boycott the inauguration of the new parliament building by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, saying they find no value in a new building when the soul of democracy has been sucked out. They alleged that Prime Minister Modi's decision to inaugurate the new parliament building by himself and completely sidelining President Draupadi Murmu, is not only a grave insult but a direct assault on our democracy which demands a commensurate response. And completely sidelining President Draupadi Murmu, is not only a grave insult but a direct assault on our democracy which demands a commensurate response.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and click our bell icon for new videos.
Trade deal signing expected as DRC leader visits China this week. The president of the mineral-rich Democratic Republic of the Congo, Felix Tshisekedi, will visit China from May 24 to 29, during which he is expected to meet President Xi Jinping to review and sign several key trade deals. The visit was announced by the Chinese Foreign Ministry on Monday. A meeting could pave the way for the two countries to formally overhaul and seal a $6 billion infrastructure for minerals deal with Chinese investors.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and click our bell icon for new videos.
$1 billion infrastructure for minerals deal with Chinese investors. The DRC is the world's largest producer of battery material cobalt. It also has significant deposits of diamonds, gold, lithium, and tantalum. Tshisekedi instructed his government at a cabinet meeting on May 19 to move ahead with talks on the deal with Chinese counterparts after the DRC government and other stakeholders consolidated their position, a DRC government statement said. He informed cabinet members that a task force looking at the deal had submitted its conclusions, enabling discussions with Chinese partners to commence in the coming days. During the visit to China, the two heads of state will hold talks and attend the signing ceremony of.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and click our bell icon for new videos.
During the visit to China, the two heads of state will hold talks and attend the signing ceremony of cooperation documents, the Chinese Foreign Ministry said. The Democratic Republic of Congo is an important country in Africa, and the friendship between China and the Democratic Republic of Congo has a long history, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning said at a regular press briefing. Both sides have always supported each other on issues related to each other's core interests and major concerns. In recent years, political mutual trust between China and the Democratic Republic of Congo has been continuously deepening, and practical cooperation has yielded fruitful results, Mao added. Tshisekedi will also meet Premier Li Qiang and Zhao Leji, chairman of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress of China. Premier Li Qiang and Zhao Leji, chairman of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress of China.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and click our bell icon for new videos.
U.S., Micronesia deepen political and economic ties. The United States has reached a deal with Micronesia to extend decades-old political and security ties, as China attempts to build influence in the region. State Department officials said on Wednesday that 3 documents related to Micronesia's Compacts of Free Association, COFA, with the United States had been signed in Phnom Penh, signaling the extension of a 20-year-old arrangement that gives the island nation defense and security guarantees, and Washington the right to locate military facilities across a swath of the Central Pacific.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and click our bell icon for new videos.
Right to locate military facilities across a swath of the Central Pacific. The signing marked the successful conclusion of negotiations with FSM regarding the extension of compacts-related economic assistance and was a major milestone in relations, the State Department said in a statement. The signing of the agreements will be a blow to China, which has made a concerted effort to increase its influence in Micronesia, prompting unease among some local politicians. Then-President David Panula in March accused China of engaging in bribery, harassment, and espionage as it tried to boost its influence. Beijing, he told Parliament, had demonstrated a keen capability to undermine our sovereignty, rejects our values, and uses our elected and senior officials for their own purposes. Among the dramatic allegations, Panula claimed his cabinet colleagues transmitted recordings of bilateral meetings directly to China, and officials were bribed. We are bribed to be complicit and bribed to be silent. That's a heavy word, but it's an accurate description regardless, he said. U.S. talks on the compacts have been taking place for years.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and click our bell icon for new videos.
That's a heavy word, but it's an accurate description regardless, he said. U.S. talks on the compacts have been taking place for years, alongside similar agreements with neighboring Palau and the Marshall Islands. A renewal agreement with Palau was announced on Monday, but talks with the Marshall Islands have been more difficult because of the legacy of nuclear weapons testing on the Pacific archipelago more than 70 years ago. The United States detonated 67 nuclear bombs in the Marshall Islands between 1946 and 1958, and the health and environmental effects are still felt today. Marshall Islands negotiators first want the United States to pay more of the compensation awarded by the International Nuclear Claims Tribunal, totaling just over $3 billion, of which about $270 million has been paid so far. Taylor Ruggles, the U.S. State Department's Pacific Island Affairs Director, said on Wednesday that talks with the Marshall Islands were advancing. Clearly the renewal of the compacts is important for the administration, said Ruggles, adding that the agreements still have to be funded and approved by the U.S. Congress. He described Micronesia, Palau, and the Marshall Islands as some of our closest partners in the Pacific. The Marshall Islands Agreement expires at the end of 2023. Micronesia, Palau, and the Marshall Islands as some of our closest partners in the Pacific. The Marshall Islands Agreement expires at the end of 2023. 3.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and click our bell icon for new videos.